Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, and you in midair, sending the clowns. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, and one who can't move. But where are the clowns? Send in the clowns.
There they are. There's the clowns.
Who, them or us?
Them are, well, I'm a clown. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Oh, my God. We're just going to be clowning around this Friday, aren't we, Chanda?
Every Friday.
Every Friday. How is everybody? Hey, Keith Hayes. Good morning, Melissa. There's Franklin. Franklin's in the green room with us. He's
Barbara.
keeping us sane. Hi, Barbara. Who else
Keith.
we got in here? We got Melissa H. We've got Al Walski. Hey, Al. Anybody else? Anybody?
Keith. Hey.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Shanda, we've got a long show today, don't we?
We do have a long show. You told me to go crazy, so I did.
Okay, let's go crazy. You're looking good there, Shanda. No glitchy, no nothing, huh?
I know. Yay. All the hard work is starting to pay off.
Yeah, we're going to have your microphone configured right next week, and that should take everything else off, right?
Yes.
I hope so. So let's take a look at this. I'm getting better with the cards, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit better. I'm doing the basics. You know, I actually knew how to use graphics programs a lot more 10 years ago. I forgot. So, but I'm starting to lose my marbles in my brain. I need to take more glutathione because I can't even remember my name for about 5 minutes when I wake up in the morning. So
I know, right?
So we got Joe Biden up there in the corner. We got Chuckles the clown down there underneath Joe, and we've got Mitchie. Mitchie's kind of green there. He's it's hard to put lipstick on a pig. And there's, of course, Nancy.
And Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
I like Truckles, not Truckles.
Truckles. And we've got Uncle Donnie standing at the podium of Uphill Media there. So I'm sorry.
The biggest clown of all.
The biggest clown of all. And it's scary because they're all lethal clowns with what's going on these days. They can't get a stimulus. They can't stop the fires. They can't stop giving money to the military-industrial complex and screwing us out of health care.
They don't want to do any of those things.
No. It's all a big club, baby, and you ain't in it. So that.
How many times a day do you say that phrase? I say it probably 5, 10
I mean,
times.
that's going to be our epitaph. We're gonna have that on our epitaph. It's going to be, the epilogue's going to say it was all a big club, baby, and you guys weren't in it.
You weren't in it.
And it's like Jesus, I got to say. But this screen capture back here, this picture, it doesn't belong to anybody. It's not copyrighted. Well, maybe the Hill would want it, but it was a screen capture, and this was Trumpy getting off the plane in Wisconsin last night at his big rally. And you know what I didn't see at that rally last night, Shanna? Can you guess?
What?
Can you guess?
Masks?
Masks. Yeah, I think I saw a mask here, a mask there, a mask not so everywhere. And, of course, the leader and thief, he's not going to be wearing a mask because he doesn't want to give the wrong impression that he's trying to, do something about this plague pandemic that we've got. Now, didn't you say something in the sporting news about the pandemic or COVID cases?
Well, yeah, if you're paying attention to sports right now, not just the NFL, but all sports, they're trying to get college football back on. They're trying, of course, the NFL launched and most of the stadiums were empty, but there was a few stadiums that had spectators that showed up. And now a few of them are starting to test positive for COVID. So they're doing a track trace. And if you were within 10 rows in Kansas City of the people that tested positive, you are now in quarantine. But the problem is the NFL tested all of its players, and a bunch came back false positive.
Oh.
So they had to retest everybody, and I don't know what's up with all these false positives around the country.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's all a big game.
Yeah,
I don't know, and people are dying because of this game they're playing.
it's a deadly game.
Here, Jilly, you got it right. I always say it wrong. Isn't this right? It's clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Yep.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you, Jilly. You get a happy face there. I love it.
I like I'm a joker, I'm a toker better, I gotta say.
I'm a midnight smoker. That would be you. Yeah.
I know, I am.
Okay.
I'm a joker, a
Yeah,
toker.
let's hit the right button, Oz, and get us back over to our class.
Woo, I'm getting a little dizzy, man. You're making me
no,
seasick.
It's the merry-go-round, the up and down merry-go-round. So, what do we got first? We got a Wipey Award today.
We do. I found this Wipey yesterday, and it made me think of you.
Oh my God! As far as being a Wipey, oh yeah, my buddy. Go ahead and read that.
It's Ron Perlman. He says, "Dear Breonna Taylor, I haven't forgot about you or that you were murdered by Miles Cosgrove, Brent Hankinson, or Jonathan Matling. You deserve justice, and I vow to keep using my voice so that others won't forget. Hashtag justice for Breonna."
You see, this is one of Hollywood's people that I think gets it on a semi-regular basis. No, I don't even know what his politics are. I think he's anti-Trump.
Well, yeah, he is very anti-Trump. I would say that he probably toes the Democrat line like most of the limousine libs do.
Yeah, well, that's that bubble, that Hollywood bubble too. But I've noticed that he's been pretty good. He doesn't hang himself out there, put his foot in his mouth like Alyssa Shalano, quoting the
CAA.
Miss CAA. Alyssa Shalano. That's a reference to Yaz Queen Chronicles by Savage Joy Marie and Pat Cody. So you guys check it out and check
out Joy's channel.
Check it out. So that's a great Wipey Award. This is the first time for Ron, right? He's the first time.
Yeah, it is the first time for Ron.
Cool. I need to get a tally, or I'm going to miscount, because we've got a 5-time winner, which is Fiorella Isabella, and then John Ellis is up there. I think he's got 3 or 4.
Oh, and Kathy
Copeland Padden's got a few.
Got a few.
Yeah, it's a big race. So
Caitlin Johnstone, she's got a few.
Yeah, Caitlin Johnstone. We love Caitlin Johnstone, and we got to get the Max Blumenthals and the Taibis and the other ones.
Ryan Knight.
Yeah, Ryan Knight and the Naomi Kleins, the Naomi Wolfs. We got to get some of those in there too. So
okay, I'll start looking deeper.
Yeah, we need to start looking deeper. Well, I'm going to pull my privileged position here a little bit, being that I'm the engineer and I lay this stuff out. This person here on the left, that is Dean Taco, and I think he's the representative from our 20th district in Washington State. Political considerations entwined in disputes over the Kashama methanol plant. You know what that's the Kashama methanol plant. That's where they take that good old frack gas from Canada.
It's going to go over native sovereign land.
Yeah, and it's going to poison us to death. But the quote here is from Dean Taco. Let me see, get this down so I can read it. With this report, the Department of Ecology has proven once again that the Kashama methanol facility will result in a net global benefit by reducing greenhouse gas emissions associated with producing the materials and products we all use every day. Beyond the global benefit, the department will ensure the impacts of the plant are thoroughly measured and effectively mitigated. That's a win for jobs and a win for our responsible role in combating climate crisis. Come on, Chanda, what the hell?
Sounds paid off to me.
Is that you should look at this guy's donor list, and he's got the drilling companies. He's got, I think, Eli Lilly or Pfizer, lots of glad handing, backroom money, dark money, everything and this guy's a Democrat. He's supposed to be a Democrat. Now, what I want to point out here, I just didn't wake up this morning and start picking on Dean Taco. I started picking on him 3 years ago. Do you know that he was on the steps of this Capitol with a bunch of Republicans, a bunch of business leaders, and they were picketing the Washington Department of of the Environmental Quality Department, Ecology, Washington Department of Ecology 3 years ago because they were pushing them to come out with this report. Now, I believe these reports only on their face to a certain point because it seems like everybody's bought off these days. At least that's in my world. But this guy has been in the pocket of his donor class ever since he took office. And what makes me ill about this is people in his district or his LD just everything he says. He's such a nice man. He really cares about us. Blah, 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 blah. What happened with the Democrats as far as the Green New Deal? These kinds of Democrats.
This is what happened to the Green New Deal, exactly.
Okay. And I believe the numbers of permanent jobs here that they're talking about, sure, there's going to be a glut.
10.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a glut of construction jobs for like 2 years, right? Okay, construction jobs. But after that, they said anywhere from 50 to 200 permanent jobs. 50 to 200 you and I could start a business and employ permanently more people than they do right here, you know. So once again, you're going to sacrifice the planet, the future of the planet, and frankly, go against everything that we are fighting for, which is a Green New Deal beyond what they're calling a Green New Deal. We need permaculture. We need things that aren't just subsidized by the richest to make money off the Green New Deal. We need an actual Green New Deal. So anyway, this guy is not unique compared to a lot of people, a lot of states across the country who have these kind of phony people who say one day Green New Deal and the next day they support a Chinese company, and I'm not bagging on China here. It's just a Chinese company, that's going to invest in the methanol plant here so they can have the control of the exports of fracked gas, which is going to kill us all that much more. So I hope this guy loses. And anybody watching this, any of my local Democrats, sorry, I'll debate you all day long on the merits of this. And don't tell me, well, we need jobs. Yeah, we need jobs, but we don't need this kind of shitty job, because if you call it a transition fuel, then they're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze till all that transition fuel's gone, until they can move in and capitalize on something else and squeeze the hell out of it. So this guy's a con man. And I can call him a con man because
sounds like we need to make taco meat out of him.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable. And believe me, they'd be just yelling at me and screaming at me, and that's why the temperature drops every time I walk in the room at one of these meetings.
Me too.
So because call you on your bullshit. That's all I'm saying. And everybody in this chat should be doing the same thing, because I know you guys got
show up at your local meetings, your city councils, your Democratic e-boards, and call them on their corrupt bullshit. You have to.
Yeah. And this guy, I called his office when he was picketing, and he said, this was one of my majors when I was in college. I was in environmental science. And I go, bullshit. If it was, you would not be pushing for a plant that's just creating more poison and killing the earth that much more.
Punching holes in the earth.
I mean, oh my God, just wait. This guy, no way. And I'd say it to his face. Anytime, Dean. Just reload it.
I was just fired up on a Friday morning, guys.
I don't care. This is the kind.
And we got a long show.
Yeah, so shut up, Oz. This is the kind of liberal, progressive we don't have in Washington State. This guy is nothing but a corporate donor appeaser. What do we got here?
Corporate tool. Oh, this is news from my small town. So I live in a small town called Sequim, Washington. Sequim. Anyways, our mayor is a Q-tard who got caught on record touting Q theories, and now they're trying to have him recalled, which I think it's our Indivisible group that's trying to have him removed.
Your Indivisible group wants to get rid of him?
Yeah, I think so, because it's not coming from us progressives.
Oh, so. They're a little bit late and $1 short, but that's the clip. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Located at the tip of the Olympic Peninsula, Sequim is a place where people come to relax and retire. But they do not leave their political beliefs behind.
We want to stand up and say this is not who we are. This is not our mayor. and he should step down.
Sheena Younger is among those now demanding Sequim Mayor William Armacost resign after his comments on a KSQM radio show promoting the QAnon conspiracy theory.
Oh, shit.
QAnon is a truth movement that encourages you to think for yourself. Those who do everything they can to...
It's QAnon's a truth movement. QAnon's no better than, well, they probably are better than MSNBS and Fox, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, the fact that they promote that you think for yourself is the biggest line of bullshit. They're the most culty frickin' group I've ever encountered.
Yeah, they're going to be yesterday's news one of these days, and I got to tell you, I can't wait. I just...
I know, right?
I caught them like 2 years ago. I talked to Suzanne about them, and she said, yeah, this is why we don't even bother to post in our group, these guys, because they're just...
There was a lot of progressives that went down the Q hole, and that, I kind of followed in the beginning when Trump got elected, like, okay, who is this Q? Why is he releasing this info? Is it legit? And within a few weeks, it was like, no, this guy's full of shit, and we left a whole chunk of progressives in that Q hole.
Yeah, they're doing what a lot of them are doing, or they're producing really good propaganda, and that's what you got to be. You got to be able to look at this stuff. Critical thinking. What do we got here? What's this?
This is a Kashama update. So on Thursday morning, she had court to see if they were going to go forward with the recall. So they have 7 points of contention that they're going after her for. And of course, I joined a Zoom meeting with Socialist Alt and Shama's group that afternoon to find out what was really going on. And basically, it's Amazon's attorneys. It's Jenny Durkin's attorney friends. So she's taking attacks from both the left and the right. They both want her fucking gone in Seattle. So because she let Black Lives Matter protesters into City Hall, they're trying to have her recalled. And then she marched to the mayor's house. So how dare her incite these damn protesters? So she really needs our help. She needs our support. Solidarity campaign. Kashama Solidarity Campaign is where you go to get the lowdown, Facebook, wherever, and donate if you can, because it takes a lot of money fighting the man. But go ahead and roll the clip. Oh, of course, those turds.
They took it down. Why did they take it down?
Because they don't want anybody knowing. They don't want us talking about this. They just want to railroad her, do a recall vote, and get her the hell out of Seattle, because they place every problem in Seattle on Shama. It's not the gentrification. It's not Amazon and Microsoft not paying their fair share. It's not the liberal mayor, Jenny Durkin, that is telling the police to use tear gas on protesters and, inciting the shit that's going on. And basically, this is retaliation because they're going after Mayor Jenny Durkin for a recall. So, why not try to go after Shama's seat too? Here's the thing, though. They need 10,000 signatures out of Shama's district to get her on the ballot for a recall vote. So I'm sure they'll buy those signatures, and it will probably make the ballot.
Oh yeah, they're always gonna fight. People who are fighting for the people. It's gonna be all about the oligarchs. So.
Well, and that's just it. We know Shama is one of the few politicians across the country that is fearless when she speaks truth to power, and she absolutely needs the support of us. You look back at what Shama has done. She was the first politician to get 15 an hour passed in SeaTac, Washington in 2013. She has, she was suing Trump about migrant, attacks. She's just the first on the front lines of everything, speaking for the people and the 99. She needs our help. She needs our support.
Yeah, we need a Shama Sawant in every town. Every town. We need a Shama Sawant times 100. So yeah, I absolutely, and support Kashama Sawant, because she's actually fighting for the people. She's not fighting for the corporate interests, that trickle-down jobs bullshit that we've been being peed on for years. So that was a good one. I wish the clip would have ran for you.
Yeah, well, it pretty much said the same thing as what I told you, that they're going after or why they're going after her.
No. Melissa wanted me to lose the crown nose. What do you want me to have some credibility, Melissa?
Aww.
I mean, I don't blame you. I kind of look, when I'm talking serious, I shouldn't have the clown nose on. I should only put that on when I'm making funny things. So I took it off. There you go. We're here. I do have one here that I'm.
Not Josh Fox.
I'm very passionate about this. And remember the other day when we did the Josh Fox,
pile on?
Yeah, Jimmy came on that afternoon with. I guess Jimmy didn't care for what Josh Fox was doing too. But let's. Yeah, Josh Fox. He's just another opportunist. I've actually talked to this guy too, and I got a bad feeling when I talked to him. So here we go.
This is a fun story. So this is one of my favorite things is to catch people self-owning. So in 2016, in Philadelphia, I met this guy Josh Fox. He did that.
Yeah, I met him in Philly too.
Right, it's about fracking. So he's super big about fracking. And I could tell pretty quickly that he was a bit of a grifter, Josh Fox, and that he was more about his career and his self-promotion than he really was about anything else. And so he's doing it again. He's such a Democratic hack because that's his career path goes through the Democratic Party, and that's why he does this, right? And it's so obvious. I don't know. He's not fooling anyone. He's just playing ball, so that the Neera Tandons and the Debbie Wasserman Schultzes like him. Republicans are helping Greens stay on the ballot in swing states. This should tell you all you need to know about both. So, Josh Fox does this every 4 years. He's like a voter shaming volcano. Every 4 years he goes off. By the way, he has a new show. I'll help promote it for him. It's called Staying Home with Josh Fox.
Ooh.
Why would anybody name a show something that sounds like a punishment?
Yeah, that does sound like a punishment. It's like Mornings with Nancy Pelosi.
Every so often, the guy who made films exposing the evils of fracking shames you for not voting for candidates who vow to protect fracking. The system's working great, folks. So this is the guy telling you to vote for
Dean
Joe Biden. Joe Biden, the guy who promises
Taco Fox
to keep fracking going. His number one issue. Do you see how when you're a careerist inside the Democratic Party and you pretend you're an activist, do you see the pretzel twist you got to tie yourself in? Do you see the knots he's tied in?
How the fuck do they think fracking's okay?
It means the GOP are using the Greens against the majority. It means the Green Party is so craven that it is willing to collaborate with racist fascists. Learn these things and act accordingly. Unlike Joe Biden, who is not a racist or a fascist. Joe Biden, who passed the crime bill, who said we do everything except hang jaywalkers. Joe Biden's treatment of Anita Hill was fantastic. Joe Biden who voted for Antonin Scalia. Joe Biden, who was part of the administration who did Libya, who did Syria, dropped more bombs than George Bush.
I know some of y'all don't care for Jimmy, but how can you not?
This is called projection, Josh.
Well, I find myself in agreement with Jimmy a hell of a lot more than I do.
Me too.
I mean, it's and he's a comedian. He's trying to give it to you.
He is a comedian.
So he might be an opportunist as well as like Fox is, but at least I'm on Jimmy's side.
If Jimmy's an opportunist, at least he's speaking truth.
I mean, shit. Again, Jimmy's got to pay the bills, so why not use the truth to pay the bills instead of spinning bullshit? That's what I'm saying.
No, I get it, especially when, like us, when you're totally independent and you, I mean, yeah, it costs. Everything costs. I mean, these are labors of love for all of us, but, subscription fees and tech fees, and it adds up. So I get it.
I get it. I think the big fee here is trying to get up in the morning is a labor of love because I get up in the morning for you.
Me too. For you guys. I'm like, I can't wait to bring these stories.
I mean, it's easier for us to go through and pick this stuff out because that gives you guys more time to pick other stuff and so on and so forth. We just break it down. And I enjoy doing this. And honest to God, being engaged with you, the chat, and Chanda and everybody else, all the ladies here, it keeps me from going crazy.
It gives me a reason to get out of bed.
Yeah, I mean, it's, anymore, it's a challenge. So Again, Josh Fox, just like a Rob Reiner, probably worse than a Rob Reiner because
Right.
Rob,
He's more than a
yeah.
meathead.
And I think Josh Fox, what's he worth? A couple of $1 million now since he did.
Yeah, who knows how much HBO gave him for
Yeah, but some
Gasland.
of these Hollywood nut jobs they just can't walk in the shoes of somebody living in the street who doesn't have health care or who has to join the armed services.
Hey! They have access to affordable health care.
Yeah, if I had $1 million, I'd have access to
I have access to a Ferrari too. I have access to a mansion. Doesn't mean I'll ever have one.
Yep. Okay, moving right along. Since we got such a big show, this was from Rising This Morning. Connections with when substance fail. I think the only thing I cut out of this was the end of it. Now I want you to listen to this.
I did see this.
We will discuss after this.
We're going to play for you a moment now of a healthcare worker talking about the struggle that he was facing, and I mean, an incredibly powerful moment listening to him. And then we'll play up against that some of Biden's response to that, and also his response to a question on healthcare, and we'll react on the other side. Let's take a listen to those.
Right now, I do work in a cancer center in the area. I make under $15 an hour.
Oh yeah, yo, you
During
really
these
care.
COVID times, unfortunately, I had to open a credit card with 25% interest just to cover my groceries.
At least he can open a credit card.
Yeah.
I'm barely making ends meet. Received no hazard pay, no raise. I'm struggling not only mentally, but financially.
Yeah, he is, Melissa.
I look up to you, and as a middle-class healthcare worker, do you have any plans to stand up for us healthcare workers?
All that Trump can see from Park Avenue is Wall Street. All he thinks about is the stock market. Telling we're going to do all right. Everybody owns stock. How many of you all own stock in Scranton? Now, my neighborhood in Scranton, not a whole lot of people own stock. And so we have to make sure that healthcare workers are paid and paid a
Why is there a
decent
car in the
wage.
studio?
And $15 an hour isn't enough for a healthcare worker. The idea that healthcare is debated as whether or not it's a right or a privilege is an absolute right. And so we have to make
God,
sure,
as long as you have money.
particularly in the moment of COVID, that any costs relating to COVID are in fact free.
They're going to cut it up
Yeah,
here.
I mean, you could. This is what drives me crazy. I think his answers are great. On
No,
both
they're
of them, but
not,
It's like when that
Sauger.
healthcare worker is talking about
teleprompter.
how he got loaded up on a credit card with 25% interest. Who made that possible? It was Joe Biden who stripped bankruptcy protection from the millions.
Yeah.
The senator from MBNA in the credit card industry. The
Who
credit
did
card
that?
state. That's what they call Delaware. It's like, and look, I don't blame the guy. You know, it's not his job
I do.
to know that or whatever. I'm more just. He affects this working class personality. Who made these things possible? Who made it so that you could be strung out and basically
Biden.
Destroyed economically?
Joe
not
Biden.
making that, or
Joe
has
Biden.
Joe Biden put forward an economic recovery plan to
No.
make sure that healthcare workers are going to get hazard
No.
pay?
No.
No, I mean.
No.
I mean, credit Sauger. Half that Sauger was okay.
Yeah, Sauger was actually on point on that. But, I watched a lot of this. You can't tell me that CNN did not coordinate with Biden and know exactly what questions were coming at him so he had the exact right answers. Yeah. It's a Donner Brazil situation all over again.
Yeah, it's more like a Donner party when it comes to healthcare for the people. So, again. Okay, yeah. Here, Barbara. Kashama Sawant. Seattle is lucky to have her on city council. Every city council, mayors, they should look at Kashama Sawant. That's the kind of
they should. She's got action, but you should see how she is attacked viciously
from
both the left and the right. I mean, I put a post up on Facebook and people just come out of the fucking woodwork to attack her.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
She's everything that's wrong with Seattle.
Yeah. They propagandized her to the point where even the blue collar workers think she's part of the problem. That's how it's been working.
Because they're being brainwashed by the Amazon propaganda.
Yep. Well, just wait till you're thrown out on the street and you have no place to go.
Which is coming.
Yeah, I'll be filled up by then, guys. I can't take too much here. So, what's this? Democracy Now!
This is Trump's got a new COVID advisor who apparently was a shitty student and a shitty colleague at Stanford, and everybody he's worked with who have better knowledge are saying that this guy's a fucking idiot and nobody should be listening to him. But now he wants to sue him.
Good job, Brownie.
President Trump's personal lawyer, Mark Kasowitz, has threatened to sue scores of Stanford professors and researchers after they published an open letter denouncing the qualifications of Scott Atlas, a colleague at Stanford who's now advising Trump on the pandemic. Atlas is a neuroradiologist with no expertise in infectious diseases. The Washington Post recently reported Atlas is pushing Trump to promote a controversial herd immunity strategy, which could result in the deaths of millions more Americans. In an open letter, the Stanford doctors, epidemiologists, infectious disease docs, and researchers wrote of Dr. Atlas, quote, "The guidance he is giving to the White House does not reflect sound epidemiological reasoning, nor is it consistent with the current body of scientific knowledge about COVID-19. Attorney Mark Kasowitz, who's now representing Atlas, has threatened to sue signatories of the open letter and has demanded a retraction by today, saying the letter maliciously defames his client. Stanford professor Michael Fishbach responded to the threat by writing on Twitter, quote, "I stand by everything we said, more facts, more science, less Kasowitz."
So a couple of things there. I noticed that Atlas shrugged a few times in there. And you're trying to tell me that Trump appointed, what is the guy, a radiologist?
He's a neuroradiologist.
Yeah, okay, so he irradiates brains pictures, makes brain pictures.
Yeah.
So Trump appoints him to be the head of what? Be a virologist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just shoot the energy weapon into the brain, and that gets rid of it. I'm connecting the dots. So
I love where he's like, "You have till today or we're gonna sue the shit out of you for defamation." But how is it defamation if they're just telling the fucking truth that this guy is not qualified for the position he's holding?
It's not, and I don't think they can win because he's a public official, isn't he? If he's a public official, you can call him every name in the book. So
exactly.
At least that's how I thought it was.
I've had that used against me, so you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we always try and be thoughtful in our discourse here, but the guy's a frickin' loser, and it is. Good job, Brownie. Trump has appointed people. Well, his basically his incestuous cabinet with all of his kids in there. They're not qualified to do whatever
all
the
his
hell.
Nepotism.
Nepotism.
Yeah, great comment, Melissa H. Great. Another brain doctor that's incredibly stupid when it comes to anything else.
Yeah, there you go. Melissa. You're right on it this morning.
Melissa's
She's just banging it out, man. Good job, Melissa. What do we got here? Oh my God, our friend Rick Sanchez. This is
Rick Sanchez.
Yeah, this is from Sputnik, RT. I don't
Foreign
think
agents.
Yeah, Sputnik doesn't get to play anymore. They took them off the table. But now, who are they taking off the table?
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
Add another media entity to the list of those who the Justice Department has chosen to designate as foreign agents. Al Jazeera is being told they too will have to register under the FARA guidelines. The implication is that they're somehow not real journalists. But
they're not real journalists.
We're now learning that the reason for the FARA designation for Al Jazeera is because it was agreed to as a demand made by Bibi Netanyahu in his so-called deal with the UAE.
Yeah, this was a part of the deal.
Let's do the media model with Reuben Navarrete, award-winning journalist, syndicated columnist, joining us once again. Just doesn't seem right that the government is deciding who's a journalist and who's not a journalist. And by the way, I'm not arguing that everybody out there should have the designation, but I don't want the Justice Department picking and choosing. That's what I think. What about you?
Rick Sanchez, I had to laugh off camera when you said the phrase real journalists. That the Trump administration, I think there ain't but 10 real journalists left in the whole country. And you and I are two of them right here.
Yeah.
There's lots of fake journalists working at major media companies. They've thrown the rule book out about journalism to go after Trump. They're no longer our journalists. They're apologists for the Democratic Party. But aside from that, I agree with you. That you don't want the government picking and choosing who journalists are. You've got 2 or 3 things going on in this story. You have Trump's distrust of foreigners. This is the same president who has said disparaging things about Mexican immigrants, who tried to ban Muslims. He is distrustful of foreigners, period. But you also have just a general distaste for the press. So this is not just a foreign story, not at all. This is about how the Trump administration hates the press. Apparently, any press, any media, anywhere, they hate it.
And by the way, I've seen some great work coming from Al Jazeera as a network.
Yeah.
And I've seen
I have, but I've seen bad too.
displays of journalism by them.
I have too.
I've also seen them do some crap.
There you go. He agrees with you. You and Rick agree.
Good stuff.
I like
out
Rick.
of Fox and MSNBC and CNN, and I've seen
That's
crap.
the point.
So
Crap.
you know, you almost as a guy who does this for a living, whether it's the place where I work or where I used to work, you almost have to look at it, you know, piece by piece.
Piece
You can't
by
just
piece.
throw a blanket
Where do you
over
used to
the
work?
whole network and
MSNBS?
say, oh, the whole
CNN, I think.
operation, you know, is bad.
I
thought that was interesting.
No, that was a good report. I mean, it was objective. It was fair. I mean, you're going to get that on RT, of course, because they're a Russian agent.
Right.
But
Putin.
yeah. So let me ask you this, Chanda: if a network says Russia more than, let's just say, 10 times a day, would they be a foreign agent promoting Russia?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think MSNBC. What's their average Russia per day?
Oh,
Isn't it
fuck,
like
who
30,
knows? 5,000 times a
yeah,
day?
30,000. Russia. You know, it's Russia.
I would love a nanobot that would just plant in Rachel Madcow's head that the next time she says Russia, like her head would explode.
Yeah, Russia or Ukraine. It's been Ukraine.
Oh, Al Walski.
Now they're throwing China in there. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah,
I don't know, MSNBS, honest to God, you know, that it's because that's the one that's probably the right arm of the Democratic propaganda network is MSNBS. I would say CNN is kind of just right behind them, but
they are.
You know, when you have all these companies, but it's a game, guys. You don't know what's real and what's not. You know, you have to exercise critical thinking skills. You got to read. You got to pay attention. You got to listen more than me talking, flapping my jaws. Al Walski. Thank you, Al. We really, really seriously, sincerely appreciate it. Thank you, Al. That helps. You know, it goes to Uphill Media, and now we're getting some of that super chat, which is important. And Chanda, we're working on something to help us out. We're building a Patreon for Beauty and the Boomer. Is that right? We
are. So that way our viewers don't have to pick and choose you or I. If they can only, we're just going to
Make
have
it easier.
our show. We'll have it under the show.
Yeah, we'll just put it in Beauty and the Boomer, you know, and I don't know what the tiers are going to be, but we're going to try and add. I think that's a good place to add extra content because we're a little bit more free to do some fun things over there. So thank you, Al Walski, for your support. It definitely helps.
Well, and I'm thinking about doing an after show for Beauty and the Boomer. So like an after.
Is that where you show us your tattoos?
Yeah, I show you my tattoos, and I drop the F-bomb more than I normally do.
Oh, my God. So, speaking of dropping F-bombs, we could take a drink for every F-bomb, but if you were taking a drink for every time MSNBS said Russia, your liver would melt within a day. You would have a melted liver. So, anytime MSNBS says Russia, everybody take a drink of your favorite beverage and see how long you live. I would say less than 24 hours.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what we going into weather now? Oh, horror show.
Well, we have to, you know, I'm turning into the weather girl, but it's not intentional. It's just what's happening in our country and around the world right now. So I have to bring these stories to let you guys know that our world's being ripped apart by Mother Nature, and we ain't seen the end of it by far. I don't think this one has any sound. This one's just kind of a drone flyover of the remnants of Hurricane Sally, which brought 3 feet of rain to Alabama, Florida Panhandle, and is now moving its way into the Carolinas.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And this is a beach home, right?
Yeah, this is Alabama.
Yeah, that beach home was destined to be gone anyway with the rising of sea level. So you can buy these properties along the Washington coast. They've gone down 50% in the last 3 years. So you know, there's no long term. Wow, look at that! They're just whacked. I'm surprised the building's still standing. That's a testament to the architect there.
Well, and I couldn't bring you the flooding one that I saw, but I've seen people standing to their waists in water in their homes.
Oh, that's a dry slip. That's a dry slip for boats. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's wow.
A lot of standing water going on. I mean, this clip doesn't show it, but there's a lot of standing water.
Wow.
Oh, Jilly love. You
Jilly,
sweetheart.
thank you, Jilly. Thanks, Jilly. Jilly.
Sharing is caring.
No, we again, I don't want to get on here like some of them do and
Beg for money. I won't
but
name any names.
The reality is if you got a couple of bucks, we appreciate it. It helps us going. Get up in the morning. So we're gonna dissect the news and try and create other shows. And the more people that we get helping us, the more diverse and the more quality we hope content we bring. So again, Joy's doing her shows pretty much independently, but I'm still helping produce those, and I will engineer when I can. But she's throwing them up on her channel, and
she's doing great. She's doing great at it.
She's doing some good stuff. Real people doing real shows. That's what you guys want. That's what we're going to give you. So
right.
you know, even if we disagree, and that's going to be a subject we talk about. I think we've had a couple of people that we've miffed a little bit in chat, and I haven't seen them in a while, so they're mad at us. But if you give us a chance, like we would want you to give you the same chance if we disagreed on something, give us a chance. Let's talk about it because we're a family here, just like Convo Couch's family and Graham's family and Jimmy's family. I want to have that family thing because in order for us to survive and go ahead with good, solid information and good direction, we have to treat each other like sisters and brothers because that's what we are. So anyway, this is just kind of a horror show look, and this was Alabama.
Yeah,
this is
Alabama.
Well, I would say that their insurance companies are going to go bankrupt.
Yeah. So in our next report, we are going to take a look at the other hurricanes because remember we had 5 of them that we were tracking.
Okay.
We have Paulette down in you can kind of see her down by Texas. And then we have Teddy. And Teddy wasn't supposed to make landfall. Teddy is a huge Category 4, maybe going into Category 5 that was supposed to stay in the Atlantic. But the newest Navy models have it coming ashore in maybe New York or Long Island. So go ahead and play the clip.
Okay, here we go.
Now, here we're going to look at 3 different models. This is the ECMWF European model. And
how huge that
is. Look at the Navy model and the Canadian model also. But notice how the storm in the Gulf pulls up, dips back, comes back, and watch. Let me slow it down just a little bit. Right there, comes back up through central Louisiana and at the coast of central Louisiana and then up through Mississippi again.
So Louisiana's looking at getting hit again.
Gets
maybe
caught
Texas.
An opening in the high pressure system. You see that? And it's pulled. Is it wrapped up? See how the high pressure is coming all the way down into Mexico? That's a blocker. And we get this gap. And where this gap fluctuates and that peak rises will be where the storm comes ashore. Notice how powerful Teddy is in the Atlantic, guys. It's a very good thing this thing is not coming ashore. Look at this. Very strong, one of the strongest we've seen this year. But you're going to have to watch it up, guys, Nova Scotia in that area. And let's look at the Navy model, guys. This is the entire Atlantic, not just the Caribbean view.
That's the Navy model. It has it making landfall.
Teddy is going to come ashore, guys. The northeastern United States looks like they're going to take a lick. This is the newest models that are just coming out. Look at this.
Holy smokes, look at that.
Very powerful storm.
Oh, my God.
What is that, guys? Yeah. Long Island right in that area. Check that out again. We're going to have to keep a very close eye on it.
So we're keeping an eye on this. You know, models change.
Not coming, but this last model is showing this high pressure. Look at that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And again, I make jest of this by putting Teddy up here, but I just wanted to say this was my Teddy piggy bank when I was a little tyke.
He looks a little evil. What's up with that?
Okay, that's the story. I got crazy with my little paint set when I was like 8 years old, and I gave him evil eyebrows. So I thought, Teddy, this is Teddy, because Teddy looks pretty damn evil. So I wanted to give Teddy a show here. So this is my evil Teddy when I was growing up. And it's ceramic, and it's probably worth nothing because I painted on it. But
it's worth everything to you if you had it since you were a child. Wow, you guys are going crazy in the chat. Oz, are you seeing this?
Wow, it is. Oh man, we really appreciate that. Who do we got here? Let's go down the numbers here.
Yeah,
we've got Brent McKinney. $10. Super Chat Friday. Thank you, Brent. Then who's next? We got, what do we got? We got Snorky.
Snorky,
thank you. There needs to be a fart wink tier.
Don't forget Juliet Nickel.
Yeah, I know. She's coming. Here, let's see. We got Juliet Nickel. Where's Juliet Nickel? Come on, find me, Juliet Nickel.
I just got to say thank you guys so much. You know, Oz has, I won't even say how much Oz has had to put out to get my system and my studio and my tech where we needed it to be. So thank you so much. Every penny helps us.
Yeah, Juliet Nickel. Thanks, Uphill Media team. Appreciate all our efforts. And that's we're going to do. I'm not going to say something other than the facts is we sincerely appreciate this. We are putting this right back into everything we do. We want to grow the team. Come on, be part of the team. Contribute.
But make no mistake, we don't do this for the chats. We don't do this because, we're trying to make money or make a name for ourselves. I mean, yeah, we want to make a name for ourselves, but just so we can get the information out. For us, it's about getting the information to you guys. I love that Barbara said earlier in the chat, I love that I don't have to watch the news. You guys do it for me. So, and that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to bring you a gamut of stories that I come across that I think are interesting and hold some kind of substance for the populist progressive movement.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of makes us unique. We try and blow through these stories without dragging you through, 2 hours of hell. We just make it an hour and a half. But we're going to keep doing what we can do. And, oh, my God.
Did Julie Love just hit us again?
Julie Love hit us again, covering Keith. Thanks, Julie. We again, this is great. This is such wonderful support. We love you guys. And we're not just saying it because... Let me point this out real quick. Once again, we are not the big kids on the block. We have our lane here. We get anywhere from, what would you say, 20 to 50 people in chat. We get maybe 200-300 views in the end. But we are confident that we are doing things that people want to see that are not the normal with everybody else. We're mixing it up. So again, we appreciate it. And if you have suggestions for content, a way to go, let us know. We'll certainly explore it. If not, or bring you on. So again, I can't thank them enough. I mean, this is really nice. This makes me feel good.
I agree.
Friday is this is really great, guys. Thank you. What do we have here? Is this some more depressing?
I just want to give Schulte 100 a shout out for saying Ed Schultz, 1954 to 2018, sorely missed, an independent man of truth, integrity, and courage. Make sure to eat your vegetables and get some exercise. Have fun taking care of your heart. Yeah, if you followed Ed Schultz, it was a terrible loss for us.
Yeah, Ed Schultz. Speaking of Ed Schultz, he got such a raw deal from MSNBS. He was covering Bernie. Ed Schultz started out as a Republican, I think, back in the early days.
Probably.
And then he saw the light, and he was more about being honest in the end than peddling bullshit narratives. But I think that came about with the computer age and the access to information. So is sorely missed, an irreplaceable man of truth, integrity, and courage. Make sure to eat your vegetables, get some exercise, have fun, and take good care of your heart. Thank you, Schultze. I'm working on that, and we appreciate those thoughtful
Rick
words.
Sanchez does remind me of Ed Schultz.
Yeah.
He's kind of that kickback to that old school type of journalist.
Rick. I think if I were going to model myself to most of them out there, Rick, as far as news journalists, Rick Sanchez would probably be who I'd want to emulate. Truly, I mean, think
he's got some misogynistic accusations in his past, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey.
Yeah, I will never be a Max Blumenthal, guys. I'm going to be a cross between a Rick Sanchez, and hopefully I'll, add some humor and some other things. I think Rick Sanchez and George Carlin, that would be a good mix.
Ooh, that would be a darn good mix.
And I'd love to aspire to be a Robin Williams, but I'll never make that. So,
rest in peace, Robin.
We miss Robin. So this is Fires.
This is okay. So we're finally getting some rain. I saw the chat talking about it. We're finally getting some rain in Oregon and Washington. I don't know about California, but the problem is now we've got massive mudslides and landslides because of the fire damage.
New threat tonight, the possibility of flash flooding and landslides as rain moves into the area just ravaged by wildfires. Jennifer Dowling talked to a woman tonight whose home burned down, and Now she's worried about more damage from the rain. Jennifer?
Yeah, go figure.
That's right, Jeff. There are so many concerns for folks who live in these burn areas, and this particular woman was worried that what remains of her burned out house could slide into the Santiam River if conditions get worse.
When we went, the trees were still falling.
Shawnee Selmer and her family went back September 12th to see what remained of their home. Their feet crunched on the charred remains, capturing images of her daughter's blackened bike frame, a bombed-out work van containing the remains of tools used.
This isn't another country. This is just a couple hundred miles to our, south.
And lighter
Is this in Oregon?
stones mark where the house
Santiam
once stood,
River?
the bulk of it now sliding towards a ledge. The family
Eugene?
fears heavy rains could wash away what's left.
Because we lived on a cliff, so everything's kind of just going to shove off the cliff, it looks like. All the houses that are burned.
State officials say the red areas on this map show places that were
Lyons,
susceptible
Oregon.
to landslides before the fires. Add to it a hard-hit fire area like Lyons, Detroit, or Mill City, and concerns mount.
People live in these areas or are passing through these areas during these periods of rainfall that we're going to have in the next 24 hours or so. They should be really cautious.
Byrne suggests that people examine the map, and if they're traveling through or live in some of the more dangerous areas, they stay alert or prepare to evacuate.
During the event, really need to be stayed alert. Also stay awake. In some cases, these things happen at night, and
can you imagine being in bed and your house just
Shawnee's
slides off a
family is
hill?
hoping rain will put out fires and will stop short of causing any more chaos.
Is there no cut on this
They
one?
created a GoFundMe page to help Shawnee
No, there's
and
a cut. It's
2-year-old
coming.
Adeline
You
get
want to
back
cut
on
it?
their feet.
I was
Everybody
just
says
saying
she
hi to
supported
Osama. Osama's over on Rockfin.
I see that.
And we'll put a link to that family's GoFundMe page on our website at coin.com under this story. Also, Burns is reminding people that the watches and warnings for the flood watch go all along the Cascades in most areas.
Yeah, flood watch and warnings. It's going to be a mess. Osama's over on Rockfin. Check it out over there. We got a couple of thumbs up on Rockfin, and we're growing on Rockfin, guys. We're just scraping at 400, and that's really good because the YouTube platform is very, very sketchy, but we want to get everybody going to these other platforms. So thank you. These fires are going to be a gift that keeps on giving. So what we have here, though, this is a gift that we weren't kind of really expecting. This is serious, right? This is not fake.
This is serious. This isn't Photoshop. This isn't a joke.
What is it?
This is Sharknado. Those are sharks from Hurricane Laura that are hanging out of power lines. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 sharks hanging from that power line.
Are you kidding me? That really happened?
That really happened.
They were actually thrown from the water into power lines.
Sharknado is real.
Oh my God.
2020 never ceases to amaze.
You know what, Chanda? I'm going to keep checking on this. It's so hard to buy.
I know, and I was like, come on, this has got to be Photoshop. This can't be real.
It has to be. I mean,
everybody says it's real.
When I see Charlie Tuna hanging from power lines, we're in really big problems. So now this story comes from a place in my heart that just hates the wealthy overlords so much.
Don't have hate in your heart.
I know, but we talked.
Pray for their souls.
We talked about this in 2008 when everybody got kicked out of their homes when Obama bailed out the banks and not the homeowners. I think Graham Elwood would appreciate this story, but let's run it here real quick.
In a new report from the Financial Times, private equity groups are allegedly loading companies that they own with fresh loans and then, this is great, using that cash to pay themselves big fat checks.
That's right. And 24% of money raised in the U.S. loan market so far this month has been used to fund monies to private equity owners. Editor-at-large with Jackman, David Sirota, he joins us more on how these groups are taking advantage of the demand for
I get his mail every morning.
How they're basically profiting off of this crisis currently. Good to see you, David.
Good to see you.
David, just explain this, because I think it can be very complicated, to understand for a lot of people. But basically, 1/4 of money out there available to be loaned being taken by these companies who are then doing what with it? Explain it.
So basically, the companies, they float debt. They take a big loan.
Float the debt.
These are companies that are owned by private equity companies. So these are called portfolio companies. They will take a loan at a low interest rate, because there are low interest rate loans out there. That's what the Fed program has done. Those companies will take that loan and then use the money, the capital that they got from the loan, not necessarily to invest in the company or to, buy factory machinery or buy infrastructure for the company. The money, a certain percentage of that money, a lot of that money, then flows to the private equity manager, the owner of the company. So it's essentially taking a loan that could be used to invest in the company, invest in the business, but then the debt is simply used to enrich the private equity owner.
Yeah. This is a tale that's old as time. I mean, Jilly says Wall Street is corrupt. Shocker. Yeah, no, they're just corrupt on steroids now because the Republicans and the Democrats in Congress pass legislation that benefits them. Instead of reining in Wall Street or emptying the swamp, they're putting it on steroids like Obama did when he bailed out the banks and not the public.
Obama.
So this is no surprise, but it's nice if you can subscribe to David Sirota's Substack, or you can usually catch it here because I was saying.
Yeah, you bring Sirota.
Yeah, I bring Sirota a lot. I bring him a lot more than Ryan Grimm because I think Ryan Grimm is more establishment. But
I just find Ryan Grimm smart, but he's so monotone and just I just don't think he excites anybody with his opinion.
Yeah, and your mind needs to, when you're giving a story, you have to excite the listener as well to keep their attention. Otherwise, they're going to just start drooling out the mouth. Good or bad, you've got to be able to present. And I am working on presenting. Shanda's a natural, and a lot of people in the chat. Same. Come on the show. Present a story. Let's do it. Yeah. We've had some folks in the chat come on, and I wish they'd come on again. So my point with this article is the next clip shows exactly what's going to happen, and we've been talking about this for years. We are going to lose our homes. We're going to lose the homes we own. Trailer parks and apartment buildings. These hedge funds, all these groups are going to buy up the places where we live. Talk about overlords and a kingdom. Listen to this.
Well, and one thing that really concerned me, David, I was reading a Wall Street Journal article this morning about how there are millions of homeowners who basically all their equity is tied up in homes and they have no cash. And that Wall Street and actually Blackstone Group, who you represented, JP Morgan, Koch Industries, and a few others are putting billions of dollars of cash pools and investments out there so that they can buy up your home and turn America into basically an eternal suburban rentier class. So basically, Wall Street will be your landlord, but for everybody. I mean, just imagine what control they'll have over American life if that's true.
And we saw that after the housing crisis, the original housing crisis back in the financial crisis, that you saw Blackstone at that point sweep in and buy up huge swaths of single-family homes that were previously homeowner owned, but then became rental properties. And there were all sorts of problems with maintenance. There was a huge Reuters investigation about people who were living in these homes being unhappy with basically having Wall Street as their landlord in terms of
that you really want that
landlord. Would you get the kind of response that you're supposed to get? So yeah, I mean, moving back to that kind of situation where Wall Street is your landlord. I mean, that's troubling. But we are in an economy where I would argue, especially when it comes to private equity, more and more of the economy is owned by private equity. More and more of the country, when you open the door behind a company that you're dealing with, there is a private equity owner there. And it's not good because private equity, I mean, there was a story about private equity in the healthcare industry and the hospital industry, he's cutting costs and all that. And the point is that, there was an old model where there was businesses that were owned by owners in the community, and there was some kind of social bond there.
Right.
Now you've got more and more of the economy owned by essentially Gordon Gekko on Wall Street, distant
Exactly.
owners that are only about profits, maximizing profits, regardless of whether they strip these companies down to their bare bones and bankrupt them.
It's all about money making. Can I tell you, I live in a trailer park, and our park got bought by a rich dentist that lives over in Seattle. So he never is here. He just bribes somebody to be the park manager who doesn't do shit. And every year my rent goes up for just the land that I'm on. And the only thing that comes with that is our crappy water, which is running out and off. And then our garbage pickup, which they've got the smallest can possible, and it's always overflowed. Yet again, they knocked on our door last week and handed us a 90-day notice telling us that the rent is going up on January 1st because they legally can raise the rent. In the middle of a pandemic, they're raising the fucking rent on us just because they can, not because they need to. And this is going to happen around the country.
Yeah, and this is going to make 2008 look like a Tea Party. Absentee.
It was a good report. That was a good report.
It really was. Absentee ownership is not anything new. It's just that it is growing at such a stunning rate. It's not a good thing, absentee ownership. You all know that. But there are other revelations that many of you already are getting in the chat, or those of you who have already seen this story. There are a lot of revelations that come with this. One of the points that that he just touched on barely there was, remember Toys R Us a couple of years ago when they got out by Mitt Romney's hedge fund? So basically, they stripped that company down, even though it was a profitable company. And they're basically throwing it into bankruptcy.
They're zombifying them,
They're
right?
zombifying it, killing all those jobs.
Yeah.
These are what these hedge funds and these management teams do. They go in there and they rip it all down. They strip it down. They make their money. They kill it. They make their profits. They walk away. And then what do you have? You have a desert. You have a mall that's dead, just the bare bones.
Our mall's so dead.
We're getting destroyed by Wall Street. And my thing is, Chanda, when is this going to end? When are people going to wake the hell up? I believe maybe this time they might wake up. What do you think?
I don't know. Evictions are coming down, Oz, and I just read yesterday that utility shutoffs, that the mandates that we've had protecting people from utility shutoffs are lifting in the next couple of weeks. So not only are you at risk of losing your house, but you're at risk of not having water or power or internet or any of that stuff in your house before you lose it.
They are picking the bones of the American carcass. We are a carcass, and they're picking the bones. Everything is coming to a head right now. And these cretins are pushing the envelope so hard. People are going to be so desperate that this horse shit that the Democratic Party, and Joe Biden is
going to save us.
They aren't going to save us. They have no substance. It's
kiss
all
Wall
optics.
Street's ass just as hard.
My prediction is this optics game right now, this optics game is going to come to an end with the more people that lose everything that's dear to them, their homes, their families, their abilities to get an education, to make a living.
Yep.
That's gone. The 60s, 70s, and 80s are gone, and they're picking at that carcass.
Another 900,000 applied for unemployment last week, the week before, and the week before that. Their jobs package that was supposed to save us stalled the fuck out. People are not working.
Well, and this, Trump got off the plane last night in Wisconsin just raving about how everything's so great and
He
everything.
always does.
It's all messaging. And those people who are still privileged enough to have this ability to see this crap, that buy it, you're all suckers and chumps. Don't do it. Because Biden lacks any substance. It's all about optics. And now this brings me to a point. I want to digress here real quick. Okay, so Biden gets in. Okay, he happens to win. Surprise, surprise. He happens to win.
Well, his attorneys get him in. Let's say his attorneys.
Okay, so Kamala Harris is going to be the one who's going to run in 2024. Yeah. They are going to run a campaign in 2024. It isn't going to work, in my opinion. You either vote for Kamala Harris or you're going to get another Trump. That's going to be their campaign.
I'm voting for Miss Nina Turner.
Yeah, so that's going to be it. That's my prediction now.
Good morning, Cheese Man. Welcome.
Hey, Cheese Man. What's going on, man? Yes, Mallmageddon, Keith Hayes. Jilly Love says it's a feudal now. It's what it's being. Now, what's this all about? This is our friend David Tressler.
Yeah, this was a great rant. I only did a few minutes of this rant with Jimmy yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched it, but head over to the Jimmy Dore Show and catch the whole thing.
Now, this guy, I think I've seen him before. He's really a spiritual guy.
Because that's a big deal right now, Duncan. A lot of people, I don't know if you noticed, but Blue Check Hollywood, they don't say anything while people keep putting coals into a fire. They don't say anything while they keep throwing babies into the fire and getting burned. And then it's finally when this big, huge bonfire happens, they're like, hey, I'm against that bonfire. Why? Because it doesn't cost them anything in their career right now to do that. It would have cost them because the people putting the coals in the fire that built that bonfire were all the people giving them jobs. And so that's why they couldn't fucking say anything before. But now all those people agree that this fire is bad. But they don't have a mirror because they built that fucking fire. And right now, everybody's virtue signaling, telling everybody you got to vote for Joe Biden, of the guy who created Donald Trump, as the answer to Donald Trump. And then they feel better about themselves because they didn't say anything for the last fucking 15 years or 40 when Barack Obama was kicking people out of their house in a similar economic downturn. They didn't say a fucking word. When Barack Obama was taking us from 2 wars to 7, they didn't say a fucking word. When Barack Obama was making the banks bigger, they didn't say a fucking word. When Barack Obama was opening the Arctic to drilling twice, they didn't say a fucking word. When Barack Obama was militarizing the police forces across the country, they didn't say a fucking word. As soon as we got a pimple, they started screaming. But they're never going to scream at the bag of potato chips that they've been eating for fucking 8 years. And that's what I can't fucking take.
I just got drunk.
Voting against Trump, it doesn't make you a good person. It makes you a fucking lazy-ass rich motherfucker.
Oh, my God, Jimmy.
You know who doesn't vote? 100 million people don't vote. Do you think they're rich? Those people who don't vote are poor because they've been beaten with a left fist and a right fist for their entire fucking life. And people are going to come out there and tell people to vote for fucking Joe Biden like that makes you a good person. What it makes you is ignorant to the real suffering that's happening in this fucking country. And not only that, they voter shame people who can't bring themselves to vote for a fucking corrupt piece of shit like Joe Biden, who is promising to deny you health care in the middle of a pandemic, even if it passes the Congress. That somehow makes you a better person to vote for that motherfucker?
Chanda brought that rant. I didn't.
I did, and I loved it. I fucking loved it. He's right. I am poor, and I have taken a left and a right from, both sides. I've had my ass kicked by the corporate elite for years and years and years. And now they're telling me I got to get in line and vote for Joe fucking Biden, who's offering no policy, nothing, no platitudes, no fucking nothing to me. No, it ain't going to happen. But, this... Every day I go on Facebook and there's always somebody in my news feed saying, if you're not voting for Biden, blah, blah, blah. I don't even bother to argue with these people anymore. I just hit unfriend. I'm done. I'm purging it. I'm done arguing with it. I am not going to justify it. I'm not going to explain my position anymore. And you know what's going to happen? The base isn't going to fucking turn out. They're going to goddamn lose to Trump. And then they're going to scream Russia, Russia, Russia because they rigged the primary 2 times in a fucking row. They took it from the base and then they can't figure out why America won't get on board with them.
Oh, my God, Chanda, you just let go. Everybody, Chanda, F-bomb. I think we just made, if an F-bomb was the super chat, we'd be able to go on vacation.
That's right. That's right. I'm just done with it. I'm done with people telling me I've got to vote Biden. I don't. Biden's got to come to me and offer me something.
Vote shaming is not going to get Biden votes. Vote shaming is not, don't even bother. I mean, we know our choices. It's shit and shit. So, again, vote who you're going to vote for and use your reasoning behind who you're going to vote for.
We're going to talk about the green vote here in a few minutes, too. Yeah. We're going to talk about, Howie and his personality of wet spackle.
Yeah. What do we got here? What's this is
that Chris Rock?
Yeah, that's Chris. I didn't cover that. I guess Chris Rock made everybody a little bit mad yesterday, or the day before, or whenever.
I did not hear this.
He made him mad because he was saying, "Look, Biden's got to step up and do something." And it's just like when Michael Moore says Trump might win, everybody comes down on him.
Right.
But here's a point that Crystal makes to one of her panel, and this panel is, I believe, he's from the Biden campaign or a Biden supporter. But just check this out. I said, "Yeah, Crystal has a very good point here."
Be possible.
So basically lie if it justifies helping get Trump out of office?
No, I'm not saying lie. Absolutely not. I don't think that's the right frame at all. I just think that what Donald Trump is doing and saying is a risk to lives across this country.
Right.
So are the Democrats.
I get everything you're saying, Andrew. And I view it the same way, frankly. But here's my thing is, from day one with Donald Trump, all that anyone in the Democratic Party and in CNN and MSNBC and New York Times, like every story, the end of the story is Trump is bad.
Get him, Crystal.
And if that is your frame of literally everything, people don't listen to you. Just as a strategy, like even if we're just completely Machiavellian and we're saying our whole goal is to get Donald Trump out, is anyone who's persuadable going to listen to the people who just every day say the same thing about every single story? It doesn't land. I mean, this is why we've seen the needle hasn't moved on him whatsoever in terms of his approval rating, in terms of how the base feels about him whatsoever, because there isn't a level of honesty. People have bought into this idea that it's better to be propagandists and never say anything negative about the Democrats because, oh my God, we could give our enemies a talking point, than to actually be honest about the situation. And then you have credibility when you do say negative things about Donald Trump.
Look, I would say that when you see a top aide to Vice President Pence and someone on the coronavirus task force come out and leave the administration and do a video like she did yesterday, that's pretty compelling stuff. And
it would be compelling if it would be, you know what, Andrew? It would be compelling if the Dems cared, but they don't. The same rhetoric every single day from Democrats from day one and from the media from day one. And that's the thing is why do you think that it doesn't land anymore?
From messaging, we have to really say the same points over and over and over to make sure it gets in people's heads. That's
not that one.
But when you're not honest, honest about the flaws on your own side, people don't believe you, don't have any credibility. That's the reality.
That's right.
Crystal nailed it.
Crystal.
Crystal nailed it. I mean,
yeah, she did.
Crystal says, talk to adults. Don't just say Biden or Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. All of a sudden it becomes wallpaper. They want to hear, we are adults here. We want to hear the truth no matter what hurts. That gives us credibility. That's why when we swear, when people swear, I mean properly swear, not F-bomb every 2 seconds like Jimmy or Chanda here. But when people swear, they are credited more believable than when they don't. But back to, we're adults. Tell us the damn truth. Let us decide. Because if you keep smearing the same shit, it's not gonna stick. I mean, this Trump bad speaks for itself. Trump's bad. We know. Is Biden better?
We know.
No.
We know.
So yeah, I don't know. What's your feeling on that? I know you like Crystal knocking it out of the park there, but
Yeah, no, that was an awesome rant by Crystal. Good job. She
yeah.
shut that kid down, man. You're like,
Yeah, she's gonna get hell from somebody for saying that. But Crystal's actually pushing back, and this is why I like the Hill, because at least they push back. They don't turn around and suck toes. So anyway,
Chili Love says Trump just banned Florida offshore drilling again, out-lefting the Dems.
Yeah, that's going to happen. All Trump has to do is start saying he believes in a Medicare for all system, and it's over.
Yep.
I think it's over. I think that he's going to pull enough, even lying, whatever he does, lying, like pulling troops out of Syria, lie. All he's got to do is lie his way to victory. I mean, he's going to get it. So what's this, Democracy Now?
I don't know. I write these shows at 5 o'clock in the morning. So by the time 10, 11 hits, I forget. So let's pull the handle and see what it is.
God, what good are you, Chanda? You're supposed to know this stuff.
I'm younger than I look. My brain's very
A
old.
warning to our audience. The following headline contains graphic descriptions of sexual assault.
Oh, shit.
Another
Oh, yeah,
woman
yeah,
to step
Trump.
forward to accuse Donald Trump of unwanted
Oh, another
sexual
one.
contact.
Yeah.
Amy Doris says Trump cornered her and assaulted her at the U.S. Open tennis tournament in 1997. She spoke with The Guardian in an interview published Thursday.
He just grabbed me and he just shoved his tongue down my throat and I was
Ew.
pushing him off, and then that's when his grip became tighter and his
Oh,
hands
the
were kind
visuals of that.
it's like very gropey and all over my butt, my breast,
Like Jabba the Hutt.
back, like everything. But he was just like, his grip was hard, you couldn't pull away. I was pushing his tongue out of my mouth with my teeth. It was pretty traumatic.
Amy Doris
Yeah.
joins at least 25 other women who've accused Trump of some form of sexual misconduct, with over a dozen claiming sexual assault. In 2005, Trump was caught on a hot mic recorded by the show Access Hollywood, boasting about sexually assaulting women.
Use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they
I
let
would
you
beat
do
the
it.
fuck out of him.
You
if I
can
did
do
that
anything.
To be honest, there's another F-bomb. I would punch him right between his eyes.
Punch him somewhere else, and she should have.
Yeah,
She should
knee him right in the
have. She should
nuts.
have bit his tongue off. Is what she should have.
Right. How disgusting. But can I tell you, I have a bunch of Republicans in my echo chamber and social media, and they are like, well, what took her 23 years to come out? And I was like, whatever. What took Tara Reid 23 years to come out? I believe them both.
Yeah, these rapists, these sexual assaulters, they get away with
Both.
stuff. Get away. They get into positions where they become the most powerful person in the country. Yeah, that would be the straw that would break my camel's back. Honest to God. So yeah, Tara Reid, what this gal's name was. What was this gal's name again? It's just another one. There's so many. I can't even keep. I absolutely.
They're both serial groper rapists.
Yeah, they're just terrible. But I want don't let me forget to talk about down ballot if we have time. What's this special delivery? Is this poop?
It's special delivery. This is a poop story. So we have a follow-up from the Pelosi poop story, because now there is another poop story.
So somebody pooped in Joe Biden's driveway or what?
You'll see.
All right.
I'm on the top post of the Donald.
Oh my God.
I'm all
Him?
over IP2, bruh. I'm literally all over fucking Twitter, dude. If you
Oh my God, this guy's
If you
terrible.
go to Twitter right now and you look up fucking Pelosi pooper, I'm viral, dude. I'm viral.
Yeah,
as
he
fuck.
went viral for pooping in Pelosi's
Well,
yard.
friends,
But
I hope you
this,
finish your morning coffee. I hope you finish your morning breakfast burrito, because it's about to
my
get nasty
God,
in here.
yuck.
We've had an escalation in the poop warfare. That's right. The other day, a massive salvo was fired at Nancy Piss Pants Polydent Pelosi's house when our very own Ted Puzinski dropped a unipoop all over her driveway. That's right, friends. We getting down. We getting dirty. When they go low, we dig a fucking hole and we go lower. That's right.
That's true.
Actually, as far as I'm concerned, fuck you, Nancy Pelosi. You deserve this. Nancy Pelosi isn't a citizen, my friends. She is a representative, and she's a Chi-Com operative on top of that. So fuck her.
What's
She deserves everything that she gets. She had no problem with poop being all over the place in San Francisco until it happened on her driveway. But
That's
no,
true.
The lefties, how dare you? That's like our tactic, to throw the poop thief and to throw the urine bomb. That's like our thing. I know, Antifa. I know, BLM. But listen, it's war. All's fair in love and war, my friends, and that's what we got in 2020. But no, they retaliating. Take a look at this, friends. We're over here at InfoWars. Police search for woman delivering dog
InfoWars.
feces to Trump supporters' mailboxes. Deranged woman has also been defacing Trump yard signs. Police in Maine are searching for a woman they say is delivering dog poop to Trump supporters. The unsolicited packages were delivered by bicycle over the weekend in the town of Hampton, where cops say a serial pooper with a serious anti-Trump bent is on the loose. Quote, she's been picking up dog feces and putting it in mailboxes, specifically of people who have Trump signs outside.
if you got a Trump sign, you might get some shitty mail.
Oh, Chanda, you're so funny. Ooh, I don't like poop.
Hey, I didn't start the poop wars, but they're happening. I can't help it.
So much for poop. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I told you we're going to talk about the Green vote and Howie Hawkins. And, so for many of us that, we pivoted to Jill Stein and the Green Party in 2016. I just assumed that would be my move when Bernie, when Bernie did whatever he did. And I can't do that. I cannot vote for this man. But Jordan Charlton did an excellent interview, 2-hour interview with this guy yesterday. And Jordan, you know how Jordan is. Jordan asked the hard questions, and he flat out asked him about Russiagate, and this was his answer.
Before we end, I don't really know. I've heard some things that, I like Howie Hawkins, but he bought into this Russiagate nonsense. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to respond. My view, of course Russia is trying to interfere with the election, just like China, just like the United States has interfered in other elections. I personally don't think fake Facebook pages and bots online are the reason blue-collar people are going to vote for Trump. I think it's NAFTA, deindustrialization, and whatnot. But, it seems to be a mass distraction and deflection narrative by the Democratic Party. They're already doing it. Kamala Harris just did an interview where she said, it's very possible the Russians might tip it to Trump
to the point.
As a rationalization mechanism if they lose.
He likes
what
to
is
hear
your
himself
position?
talk.
Do you think that this is overblown, or you think there is a grave threat to democracy coming from Russia?
Yeah, well, my opponents have smeared me as a Russia-gator, which implies that I think Clinton lost because of Russian interference, and that justifies the saber rattling and militarism we've exhibited toward Russia. And I don't agree that Clinton lost. Like I said, the Electoral College did it, not the Russians. The black voter suppression did it, not the Russians. Now, I do believe the Russians did what they could to help Trump. And Edward Snowden said as much in an interview last week. And he said, we can't stop it because all these states are going to try to send out messages, disinformation, misinformation. We do it, the Russians do it. And, if we really want to deal with cyber war, we should take up Putin on his offer to Bush, to Obama, and to Trump, which has been rejected. Let's negotiate a cyber war treaty, a cyber security treaty. And it would be like an arms treaty with mechanisms for inspection and reconciling issues that come up. Like, are you sending these bots in here to confuse our people? And, you have commissions and independent people to investigate. That would be a way to deal with it. And as Snowden said, the other thing is we should restore, I don't think he quite put it this way. He just said we need to be critical media consumers, but I think we need to restore civics education in public schools, including critical media studies. So you understand how propaganda works, how you find reliable sources, how you check information. We need much more of that because, the right is consumed with this crazy QAnon conspiracy, but there's a lot of tendency on the left. Instead of a complicated power structure analysis, a class analysis, a social analysis, people like these simplistic conspiracy theories. And I don't even like to call them theories. They're mostly fantasies. And it's just a mentality that we need to oppose.
I can't go there. I just can't. There's nothing about this guy that calls for me to vote for him.
I know. He's talking all over the place. He's
all over the goddamn place. It was the Russians, but it wasn't. Okay, I do agree that, a cyber security treaty would probably be a good idea, but that'll never happen with who's in control of everything. The Dems would never let that happen. So the point is moot. Sorry, I'm not impressed with Howie, and I just can't go there.
I think it was Keith said if he says Russiagate, then they're going to smear him as a Putin lover.
That's true.
I agree. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put Sirius 1976. Batman theme song, do 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 do, and poo poo. They should finish it, do 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 poo poo. Yeah, that's again, and this is coming from somebody who knows that their primary was rigged. So, you know.
Right. Their primary was rigged. And if I thought for 1 second that our election integrity was good enough to allow them to meet the threshold of a third party, I would absolutely support them, regardless of how I personally feel about Howie. But that's not what's going to happen. Our elections are rigged. They will never get close to the threshold.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because we need more parties in this country
It
because
is.
the duopoly.
But by design, it will never happen.
No, the duopoly has the corner on the market as far as who gets to play and who has to pay.
Yep.
We have to pay. What's this?
Oh, this is them setting Bernie. Oh, this is Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has decided to attack Bernie because, Biden has bowed to Bernie.
Oh, my God.
Ted Cruz
This is Kyle.
is trying to help Trump win re-election. So he released this attack ad. It's the goofiest attack ad of all time. He's going after Bernie. Let's watch.
This is the last story.
When Joe Biden is elected president, when we have a Democratic House, Democratic Senate, we can begin the process
Why is her head so big?
of transforming this government and our nation.
I wish.
Sometimes American journalists talk about how bad a country is because people are lining up for food. That's a good thing.
If these guys
Taken out of
win, we're going to wake
Out
up
of context.
with Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders as Secretary of State.
Out of
and get ready to
context.
see
Like they would
him
ever let that
embracing
happen.
Nicolas Maduro and communist Cuba.
But I remember being very excited when Fidel Castro made the revolution in Cuba. I was a kid and I remember reading that. And it was just seemed right and appropriate that poor people were rising up against rather ugly rich people.
That's the
Many
point.
of the ideas we fought for, that just a few years ago were considered radical, are now mainstream.
That's right.
Well, that was a good propaganda piece.
Against radical socialist.
Oh, Texas, no wonder. They've got cardboard for gray matter.
Let me give you a friendly little Kyle tip when it comes to dealing with frauds and charlatans and people who might have extreme political views or be ridiculous like Ted Cruz. Here's the Kyle trick. Whenever the crux of somebody's attack against a political opponent are centered around labels, ask them to be more specific.
Exactly.
Because as a general rule, when people default to attacking somebody over labels, it's because if you ask them to explain themselves in detail,
they can't.
Yeah.
The attack won't sound
It's Ted flipping
all
Cruz,
that
man.
powerful or bad. So what do? They've been doing this for a long time now with Bernie.
That ain't gonna stick.
Radical socialist agenda. Bernie Sanders might be Secretary of State.
Yeah,
And
right.
They clip in things that Bernie said in like the 1970s. And they're like, oh. By the way, at the end,
I love when he does that.
it's supposed to be scary to you that Bernie's saying,
Scary Bernie.
Many of the ideas that we ran on in 2016 are now mainstream. Yeah, Ted, what are those ideas? Please elaborate. Please proceed. Let's get into the specifics. Again, he has no real strong line of attack, so he just defaults to scary words that are supposed to make you feel bad. Radicals, social.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bernie's going to be in the Secretary of State position in our freaking dreams.
Yeah,
in our dreams.
I
That will
wish.
never happen. He will not have any appointment in that administration. Chanda, what party has the best policies? We don't have a party that has any good policies, Jolie.
I think the People's Party does.
The People's Party, yeah, but they're not even an official party yet.
And
so.
all incarnations of the movement for the People's Party, those populist parties, I'm going to call them populist. I'm getting off of progressive. When it's a party that is put together with the values and the goals of the 90%, the 99%, that's the party that represents us. It's not the 1% or the 10%ers like we pointed out last week. Congress is comprised the majority of millionaires.
Yeah.
A lot of those millionaires themselves are lobbyists for Israel and Saudi Arabia and all the powers. They're lobbyists for the military-industrial complex. They're lobbyists for the fossil fuels companies like right here in Washington State, Dean Tacko, he's a lobbyist through his actions for the fracking industry. So, again, that's the problem.
We don't have any parties on the ballot that we can actually just get behind and unify behind a party. You guys are going to have to look at the person and their policies for that campaign.
And
there is no getting in line behind any party.
And it's a lot thinner pickings with the Republican Party, if any. The Democratic Party, there's a few. I would say
There's a few.
Under 10% of the entire representation, maybe. But most of them are sold out to the donors. They're gonna do what Mama Bear says. They're gonna do whatever Truck says, and they're going to go forward on that. This is why I say one statistic that didn't come out today. I wanted to point out. In the 2016 presidential race, what state was it? Was it Wisconsin or Michigan? That the down ballot tickets all got filled in. Down ballot.
I want to say it was Michigan.
Michigan. But the presidential block, no vote because they detested Hillary Clinton and they didn't buy Donald Trump. And that outnumbered all the other votes.
He won Wisconsin, so it'd have to be Michigan.
Yeah, so again, we're going to go in. We're going to vote down ballot. I don't know what we're going to do for
Down
president.
ballot. I'm writing Bernie in. At this point, I'm writing Bernie in just as a big F you in their face. I don't care if my vote gets thrown out. It doesn't count because guess what? It doesn't count anyways.
I'm not going to school anybody on how they should vote. That's not my right. That's not
that's
my
up
place.
to you guys. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm going to write Bernie in.
Absolutely. And you can say that. My vote is my private thing and
not say a word.
And I'm not going to decide till the day of the election because it's just getting shittier and shittier and shittier every day. So am I going to vote for Trump? I'm not going to vote for Trump.
If you don't vote for Biden, you're voting for Trump.
I'm not going to vote for Trump. I'm going to probably be voting against something. Now, last story. You guys have been really patient. This is one of the
you have. This has been a long show.
What is this? Did I bring this?
I brought this. This is a quick clip about how we fix this. How do we fix it? We sit here and we whine and complain about it all day. This is how we fix it.
I watched this. This was good.
Let's talk about ranked choice voting. What is that, Jimmy? Well, it's the thing
ranked choice
that will
voting.
get rid of the spoiler effect of the third party.
Yep.
And so you wouldn't have to worry about, you can't vote green because then a bad person will win.
Exactly.
So if we had ranked choice voting,
and
I'll tell you real briefly how it works. Let's say there's 3 people on the ballot. Let's say there's a Democrat, Republican, and a Green. Let's say I voted and I rank these. My first choice is the Green. My second choice is the Democrat. My third choice is the Republican. I rank those. So they add up all the votes. And if nobody has 50%, they throw out the smallest vote getter. So it doesn't spoil it.
It doesn't spoil it.
You understand? So now if the Green Party had the least amount of votes and nobody got if somebody gets 50%, that's it, the election's over, they win. But if somebody doesn't, then you throw away the lowest vote getter and then you tally. Now what's my second choice? It's very simple. There's nothing to it. They're doing it in Maine.
Yep.
Yay, Maine. Yeah.
So that's how we fix it, guys. Start pushing for ranked choice voting.
You mean you actually brought substance to the show again today, Chanda?
God dang it! I hate when I do.
No, keep doing that.
I brought the poop stuff. I try.
Oh God! Don't bring any more poop. I'm tired of poop. Oh, it makes me want to poop. Anyway, here's your daily reminder.
Somebody said they could finally breathe again after all of the poop jokes, and then there we go again.
It's terrible poop.
Oh no, there was one before this about the woodland creatures. It's a tweet. You'll see it. It's white.
Oh, woodland creatures. Okay.
Yeah, let me read this. So Antifa is training wild animals. My uncle, who is a cop a few towns over, told me that the lost souls of Antifa are training small woodland creatures to attack hikers. There are so many trails in the area, and I wanted to let people know what this group is doing is corrupt not only to our children, but to our wildlife. Raccoons and weasels are their most common targets. Good luck out there, Trump 2020.
So anti-fascist people are training little small woodland creatures to be anti-fascist.
They're attacking hikers on trails.
I would say that's a good thing.
I just found this freaking hilarious.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
are
you
you
gotta be-
kidding me? You actually believe this shit?
Well, it's, whatever, Sky Fairy, Zeus, Thor, all those,
Right. So then this one is a reminder that Antifa is not your enemy unless you're a fascist.
Yeah. So it's a label that's been put on a broad spectrum of people as a group instead of an ideology. Anyway, I guess we can finish up with that. The chat has just been, God, Jilly and Melissa have just been killing it this morning. Brent,
They always kill it.
Oh my God, you guys are so funny. You need to come on the show. Can you guys? Somebody, come on. Email me at Roar Media Live and let's get you on the show. We'd love to bring you on. And actually, if you could
Such dumb buttholes.
I love raccoons. Barbara says I love raccoons. Such dumb buttholes.
Those radical raccoons.
Anyway, our reminder here. Remember, the guillotines are an option. I think the more that you lose and the more we destroy the planet, that guillotine's looking pretty good to me. This is, you want to get rid of the virus, just put the hammer to the TV.
Yep.
Do that. So what do we got coming up? Do we have a Brave New Future tonight? We have Brave New Future?
I haven't talked to Amber, but yeah, I assume there's one, and I might be on it, I might not. I don't know. And then guess what, guys? No Joke's back tomorrow morning.
Yay, no joke.
I'll
I'll be posting that after the show. No joke. Marcus and Amos and Chanda, and I think I'm being tapped. I might even be on there. So no joke. And then what do we have tomorrow night?
We got Beauty and the Boomer.
Oh my God. What's the theme?
I don't know. You tell me. You're
I
the
don't
theme
know.
master.
I'm deciding on which head of hair that I'm going to pull out of my closet and staple to my noggin. I did.
Don't get me crying again like last Saturday.
Oh, that
I was
hurt.
crying. I was laughing so hard.
That hurt. So
It hurt. It did.
yeah, I did get some limes. Finally got some limes, some actual limes, not the juice. And I got
your Bombay.
I got a new bottle of tonic. It was Schweppes tonic. I prefer Canada Dry tonic. It seems fizzier. Somebody told me once.
Yeah, I like Canada Dry better.
Yeah, somebody told me once that they're both made in the same factory, you dummy.
They probably are. They probably are.
But they're different. They are different. I swear to God. There's a little difference between Canada Dry and Schweppes, and I prefer Canada Dry tonic. So there will be odds.
You'll have to tell us all about it tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll have to do the taste test. So anyway, no joke tomorrow. Beauty and the Beast tomorrow night. Brave New Future tonight. And Joy's got some stuff coming up next week. I can't remember exactly, but there's some good shows.
I'm working on a really interesting interview with a woman who's on a hunger strike in Portland because of the migrant youth detention center. And hey, shout out to Chris Foster. Welcome. I didn't see you in the chat room.
Chris. Yeah, I want to jump on that. So we may go live at any point with that interview, the lady who is doing the hunger strike against the ICE detention centers. So all Shanda's got to say, Oz, turn on the studio. We're going live.
Yeah, we're going live because you never know. We might just start doing that.
And for Clowning Around Friday, we're going to go out with our friend Puddles, probably get dinged for that. So we are not... we're trying to behave, but we have to have Puddles going out. This is Chris Isaak Wicked Game. I think Puddles does a fantastic job, and like I said, we will do more Clowning Around Fridays, and I'll take the nose off so you can take me seriously, but... Melissa. But these are serious.
We never take you serious.
No. We have to look at this with a little bit of laughter because if we depress ourselves, we're all going to just die. That's right. Let's have fun. Thank you, Chanda. Thank you, chat. Thank you all of you for the super chats. Made by, let me see, Jilly says, made by Nestle, Pepsi, Coke, why. If I could make my own tonic water, I would, but I don't want to. Yeah, I know.
They used to back in the 20s. Remember you had the spritzer bottles?
Yeah, they do. And they had that thing that makes that poison water for you now. It screws up the pH in your body and causes cancer, like everything else. But yeah, I'm not promoting Schweppes or Canada Dry per se, but I guess I just did. I apologize. I need some tonic water with my gin. Yeah. And that's the way we go. I apologize. My hypocrisy only goes so far, though, guys, you know?
That's right.
So anyway, Wicked Game. This is... Puddles Pity Party. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Chanda. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See you later. Donuts. He wants donuts.
could save me but you. It's strange what desire make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. Thing to say, you never felt this way.